It's actually 5:20 in the morning now. So what am I doing at Bangkok's Chulalongkorn railway station?
What?
Well, there's a story going around that at this time of year you can get on a floating train from Bangkok. Sounds unbelievable?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's why I've got up at this unearthly hour in the morning to find out whether it's true or not.
Wow.
Considering it's 5:30 in the morning, there's a lot of people here. So I filmed this in December 2023, and this train leaves from Chulalongkorn station, and it's a special excursion train that runs for just 3 months of the year, from November through to January. And the cheapest way to do this trip, and the way that most people do it, is to book a seat in a third class carriage. That's a carriage with open windows and it's fan cooled, and they start at about 330 baht for a round trip. But they do get booked up minutes after release. I missed out, so I chose to go a much more expensive way on the SRT Prestige dining car. Welcome aboard. I've actually booked with the company InTrain, and they pay for a couple of private carriages to be added to the SRT train, and they resell them with a complete package which includes food, a trip to see some sunflowers, a trip to a viewing point. Everything's included, and I'm travelling in luxury. Actually, you can just about make out behind me there. We've got the red carpet treatment. Thank you very much. It's a special excursion train that only runs at weekends. And the other thing that we seem to have today is a special Christmas menu. I didn't realise it was Christmas. The train stops at various stations on the way out, at Bang Sue, at the new station at Don Muang, Rang Sit, and also a very beautiful station at Ayutthaya. One of the great things about going within travel is you do have an English speaking guide, and also we were very lucky on my trip that we were joined by the famous blogger Richard Barrow, who added his expertise to the day.
Water on both sides, but the right-hand side is the best view.
There's a link to his Twitter account in the description below. Now, on the in-train excursion you get a full English breakfast. You also get fantastic views as you go outside Bangkok into the countryside from the back of the train. Then it's time for cheese and biscuits, even more food. And its final destination is in the middle of the reservoir, where we arrive at about 9:30 AM and stay for 20 minutes. And here I am at a very windy viewpoint, and you can see that everyone's jumping off the train to take a picture. If you wonder why your intrepid cameraman is making it look like the train is leaning to the right, well, the answer is because the train's leaning to the right. A bit more of this wind and it will topple in and we won't be able to get back. And as you can see behind me, there is just water as far as the eye can see. And if I just flick around here, whoops, really falling over onto the track, and just behind me again is water as far as the eye can see. So the train track just runs on the viaduct, and it certainly gives the impression as you come across here that the train is floating on water, hence the name of this train. We're on to Goksalung station about 20 minutes later. Again, it stops there for about 30 minutes for food before it goes back onto the dam, and people can take excursions from there if they haven't already arranged something. In my case, the excursions are all included in the cost of the ticket. If you haven't included your excursion in advance, you can go and look around the area by local van, that's 70 baht, or even on the back of a tractor, and that is 30 baht. In my case, the excursions had already been pre-booked and we were met by minivans that took us to our first stop, which is a rather wonderful sunflower farm. I mean, there's thousands of them. There are a good proportion of them that would look like they've seen better days. They don't last very long, I'm told. But these ones are quite beautiful. So that actually is quite a good view, isn't it? All the yellow behind from the sunflowers. Very beautiful indeed. Well, it would be if I got out of the way. So the next stop is at a local community for something more to eat. I must admit I wasn't really hungry by this stage after all that I'd eaten. But when they offered to make me a special pancake just for me, how could I say no? ขอบคุณมากครับ And it really was delicious, I must admit, so highly recommended. And then after a short stop there, it was time to go to our next stop, which is a viewpoint where you can look down on the 5 viaducts and the dam and see where the train actually stopped. So the train begins its return journey from the dam at 3:30 p.m. and just watching the train coming into the station here, you get the sheer size of it. There's 17 carriages on the train today, and that's nearly 1,000 people taking the trip to the dam and over the viaducts. This is the coach that I was in. You can see how luxurious it is. And there's the kitchen where the staff have been really busy preparing meals. And the best is yet to come, because I went in December and they prepared full Christmas dinner for 20 people. And look at the size of that turkey. Absolutely amazing. And it tasted just as good as it looks. Follow that up with some fruit cake, and that was a meal to remember. So the train's on its way back to Bangkok, probably back in Bangkok by about 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. or a bit after that tonight. You can get off the train earlier. I think I'm going to jump at Dom Muang, which is one of the stops, and we'll be reaching there very shortly. But I think that's been a fantastic day out, and if you get the chance to do it, either booking direct with the State Railway of Thailand, that would be the cheapest way of doing it, or by going with a company like I have in train with all those extras and the superior accommodation, then do take the option if it's available to you. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video about my journey on the floating train. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and share and give the video a like. I'll be back with another video very soon about something going on around Thailand, but for me, see you next time, bye bye.